He told the lease that if they paid him 9, if they gave him 1 extra million, he would back check as well. But apparently they didn't pay for that office. So, back to our deal. I'm serious. 76 games you're going to be the first star, the other 6 you're going to suck. And you're going to play great. Would you take that deal if I could make that happen for you? Like, I'm deadly serious. Like, if I could just wave my magic wand. 76 games, first star, 3 goals each game. Sure, of course you will. 6 of them not great, but 76 out of 82 is pretty good. Right. Now this man here, beside you, is a pilot with Air Canada. Right? He's going to make 82 landings this year. How many of those would you like him to make? I think, 76 is pretty friggin' good. 6 in the mountain, so be it. But hey, right? In other words, you've set the bar pretty low, didn't you there? Like, in other words, folks, what happens is, like, if you expect or you give yourself the luxury of having bad days, you're going to take them. Of course you are. When you have a bad day, you give up. And hockey coaches and hockey players do this all the time. Right? Oh, man, they looked at this for 4-0 down after 10 minutes. Oh my God, now we're 6-0 down. It's just one of those things. Let's just play the 4th line. Let's let them play. It's like, oh my gosh, we're going to play tomorrow night. It's fine. Let's just forget this. Right? Hi, everybody. This is the captain speaking here. Things are not going well up here in the cockpit. We're about to go into the side of a mountain. But, anyways, there's another flight tomorrow. So I thought we'll just crash this puppy right now. All right? In other words, he can't give up. You can. No, well, it's just one of those things. Right? And that happens too often with coaches and with players. They just go, it's a bad day, and they just write it off. But then some other people are not allowed to have bad days, right? And my goodness me, they don't have many. What you have when you play hockey is you have challenging days. You don't have bad days, you have challenging days. Right? Everybody talks to themselves. Everybody does. And some of you are sitting here right now going, I can't believe I gave up a whole night to come to listen to this. Right? And then somebody else is saying, well, yeah, he's a complete idiot, but I've got to stay awake here because you never know, he might say something interesting. Right? So we're having this little conversation, right? Like, why is he looking at me for? we have this conversation all the time. Right? And, will I back check? Will I not? Well, I'm tired. I can't back check. I'll give a half-hearted effort and I will fool the coach. No, I'm going to back check her. Right? Players, kids, they have this conversation all the time. The secret is pretty simple. You've got to listen to the right voice in your head. Right? Whenever you block a shot in hockey, does it hurt? Yeah! It hurts! You go, well, so easy for him, like it. Well, it hurts, but of course it hurts. Right? You'd hit in the back there, you don't have any padding, it hurts. Right? But if you're saying, well, other people, it's easy for them. No, it's not. They're hurting as well, but they're listening to the right little voice. When those kids don't want to back check or they don't want to work on passing properly or whatever, they're listening to their own voice in their head. Right? So one of the things I really try to encourage coaches is just do right. Standing up and going, Ref, you're brutal! Get your head in again! You stop! That's listening to the wrong voice. There's a little voice in your head that's going, that's not the right thing to do. But come hell or high water, you're not going to listen to the right little voice, are you? Right? And so right? And players are the same. You all know what to do. Most players know what to do. They've been well coached. Right? So really encourage players to listen to the right little voice. So that's no bad days. We'll run through these all ones really quickly. Don't limit yourself. How many people in here don't like sushi, Japanese raw fish? Put your hand up if you don't like it. If you don't put your hand up, it means you like it. And I'm going to ask why you like it. Hands up if you're pretty sure, even if you've never had it. Hands up if you're pretty sure you don't like raw fish. Hands up. Make a statement. Hands up in here who don't like it and have never had it. Now look at them. Well, there you go. And you don't need to try it, do you? No, because it sucks. Right? Not only that, this forecheck that you're teaching me, guess what? Do you know why I don't try very hard on it? It sucks. And then we go out, and I don't try very hard, and guess what? We're brittle, which just proves what?
We suck.
It sucks. There you go. Right? In other words, players and coaches limit themselves. Can't do this, we can't do that. No. Don't limit yourself. And we try and encourage that to our players as well. How come in hockey, if you're 6'8", you don't have good hands? Seriously. Like, I'm deadly serious. No, 6'8", you're a stay-at-home defenseman. Like, that's it. No, I'm not. I'm a real sort of perimeter kind of, guy. No, you're not. In other words, we limit ourselves, and I see it, right now. We had this conversation with Jared Tenorti, just like in Hamilton. Jared's 6'6" and nasty, right? Jared, we don't want you playing like PK. You stay, watch the house. Anybody looks at you the wrong way, there you go. But I got skills. Oh, mate, don't want skills. The last thing we need, right, is skills. Right? Good Lord. So don't limit yourself. Make sure that you as a coach and your players, make sure their behavior is consistent with your choice or their choice. In other words, when my students come to class, they better stay awake. If they don't stay awake, they're in deep doo-doo. Why? Because they're adults. They've paid for the class. They don't have to come. The university's already got their money, or your money, right, if you're paying for them. And it's less for me to mark. So I don't frankly care whether they come or not. Right? But if they decide to come, right, then they better pay attention, stay awake, and so on. In other words, if you're going to coach. Go develop your skills. Work on your game. Most of you sleep way too much. Oh, you mean, God, you have no idea. I'm picking kids up here and I'm driving them there. Yeah. But you signed up for it. Right? Like you did. If you're not going to do it, tell people. I mean, I tell people that all the time. Right? Like, when you're a D-man playing old-timers hockey like me, what's the most important word for a D-man? Right? Here's my D partner, and we've got to communicate. What's the most important word? Yours. You can't say I'm not communicating. So that puck goes back there. Yours. Because I might get hurt. And I'm not going to get hurt. Like, here's the rules. Right? Like, well, actually, I tell a lie. I am actually not a bad hockey player. Truth be told, I'm actually NHL ready. I'm waiting for a call from the Leafs any day now. I'm going to be the first 50-year-old Irish rookie in the league. And all the games I've ever played in old timers, ever, I've never been on, right the facts, never been on for a goal against. Ever. Pretty good coaches, eh? Ever. Because what I do is, I'm so bad that I go out one door, wobble along the board, and then the other one. I keep my shifts short. You like that, coaches? About 12 seconds. Right, because I'm a disaster. Right? In other words, but I'm easy to coach. I'm great coaches. What situations, coach, will you put me out there for? How many goal lead do we need? About 27. Right? In other words, you know what you're getting. The worst thing is the player who says, I'm there for you, coach. right? Paying attention. And then you turn your back, and they're goofing around with the water bottle, right? In other words, they say one thing and they do something else, right? When I go to Roger Nielsen's thing, there's a huge big coaching conference. It goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. Now, I don't often get this, but I usually try to, I always ask for Sunday morning. Always. Right? Because I hardly get anybody. Right? They're there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All the big names are on the Saturday, right? And then they got the pub afterwards, Saturday night, and it's always sponsored by Molson, and it's all you can drink for free, and blah, 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 right? So I don't get many people on Sunday. What other sort of people do you think I get on Sunday?
Ones that want to be
I get the ones that I want coaching my kids. How would you like your players not to turn up on Sunday morning for the game? And you know, we've been here Friday and Saturday, and I just been party, I didn't sleep, I just didn't want to come. Right? So in other words, you want to make sure your behavior, if you say you're going to do something, you do. Set positive goals. Really, really important. The number of coaches who screw up kids is unbelievable. They say things like, don't turn the puck over. The kid was never thinking of turning the puck over. It never crossed their mind to turn the puck over until you mentioned it. Right? And now they're going to don't turn the puck over. And what happens when you try not to do something? Come on. A lot of you are mums and dads. How do you get little kids to do something? Tell them what? Yeah. Right. Like, I mean, they're standing there right beside the wall, and they've got a big crayon in their hand. And you utter the immortal words, don't draw on the wall! Because the kid was going to eat it. But no, they're going to draw on the wall. Right? So we really try to talk about setting positive goals. If you're not going to turn the puck over, what does that mean you're going to do? It means you're going to make good outlet. It means you're going to make good pass. It means you're going to skate well, right? So we try all the time with all our players and the pros and everything. Talk about what you're going to do, not on what you're not going to do. Makes a huge difference, right? Absolutely huge difference, right? And of course, it's what you do next that's really, really important, right? Not just in hockey, but in life. It's what you do next, right? A few years ago, I can't remember the exact details now, but a few years ago, I'm working with the Canucks, and Clutches are nets for us, and Crawford's coaching, Mike Johnson's there, and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I could be wrong in this, but this is the way I remember it, so if it's wrong, don't correct me, right? But Vancouver finished 8th, and they're playing Detroit in the first round of the playoffs, right? Detroit finished first. We go into Detroit, and we win the first 2 games in Detroit. We're 2-0 up. Holy moly, Batman. Right? We come back to Vancouver, game 3, 0-0, midway through the second. We're playing pretty good, you know. Maltby or whatever it is gets the puck for Detroit. The flying guy gets the puck down his own end, skates out to the red line and dumps it in and goes off on the change. The puck bobbled, bing, pass Clutchain into the net. Right? Then Detroit go on, win that game, win the next one, it's now 2-2. Back to Detroit to win the next one, 3-2, back to Vancouver, win that, we're done. What was the turning point? That goal, right? But you know something? It wasn't. Do you know the real turning point? The 37 that Clutchain let in after that! That was the problem! That one on its own didn't kill us. If nothing else had happened after that, we would have, you know, a big flash of the ring, right? But it's the other ones after that that happened. That's the problem, right? So in hockey, we try to teach kids, like, see, now I'm getting way distracted, but like you see, coaches, God, I was going to promise that I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to have to. Like, coaches say the weirdest things, right? Like, things like, you know, go out there and don't make mistakes. Make mistakes! God, we just don't make enough mistakes when you play hockey. I hear coaches saying, you know, every mistake you make, just one of those games, you make a mistake, it ends in the back of the net. No, it doesn't! It doesn't! We're paying Jerry Price $27 million a year thumbs. He's back there for D-men like me who are idiots. We throw the puck up the middle of the ice. But see, Gary seems that there you go. My plus mine is still pretty good. Right? So what happens is, players go out there, right, trying not to make mistakes. And then they make the mistake. And then the coach comes up with, don't worry about it, just forget about it. Right? Just forget about it. Because of course every time the kid looks up at the score, it's 1-0. Right? In other words, it's what you do next that's really, really important. I learned that from PK. Before PK was called up to Montreal, he was called up, he played a whole year in Montreal, he didn't get called up until the playoffs, whenever Markov blew out his knee, I think it was in Pittsburgh. Right? So PK gets called up. He's playing in Hamilton, Dan Lacroix, some of you may know that, he's now with the Rangers. He was Guy Boucher's assistant in Hamilton. PK is playing for the Bulldogs in the first round of the Calder Cup. So anyways, PK's out on the ice. Dan Lacroix telling me the story. Makes an absolutely horrendous mistake. I mean, horrendous. And they score. Right? You know, first year pro, back right. Goes back to the bench and stuff. So Guy Boucher says to Dan Lacroix, just go down there, put your hand on PK's shoulder and tell him, hey, just forget about it. Move on. Don't you know feel well. So down he goes to PK. Right? So you know Dan standing there, goes up to PK. Hey PK, don't worry about it. Right? PK just looks up like that and goes, oh, don't you worry, coach, I'm not worried about it. Oh, well, that's what we do next, that's really important. I remember Dan Lacroix said, if you could have just shown a little bit of remorse for like 5 or 10 seconds. Right? But he's right. And that is PK's greatest skill. Everybody thinks it's his ability to, you know, handle the stick and hold guys off. No, PK's greatest skill is he lives for what happens next. If it's really good, if he's done something fantastic, he doesn't go, oh, well, I've done my job now. No. Oh, no. Oh, what do we do? And that's his greatest mental skill. Right? It's what he does next. Right? So really encourage the players to be like that. Like, it's not doom or gloom. What you do next is really important. Holy smokes. Anyways, I want to just finish on this. Alright, right? And actually I'll come back to that. We're going to come back and talk about this because that's really important for coaches. Now, this is what we do in October. We usually talk about goal setting, how to set goals, different types of goals. Sometimes we do a bit of team building or whatever. Not a huge team building kind of, you know. We did a great team building up in Montreal a couple of years ago and everybody got fired. But so here's how to do goal setting. Awesome, I have all the stuff for you. There's no time, but you can send me an email or whatever. And then in November, we usually talk about how to handle stress and pressure. You know, how to play, you know, you're a little bit scared. You know, like scared is things like Lapierre. Right, who's now in, where is he? St. Louis. We are playing Boston. Right, the Boston Bruins, right? We're in Boston. And Chara has got the puck. And he's up against the glass. Right? Right there, he's just standing like this. Right? And Lapierre is going to go finish his check on Chara. So we're watching this, right? Well, you won't believe this. Looking, Lappy hit that glass so hard, like the whole place rattled. You know that big hit in the glass just rattles? But you know the darndest thing? It's funny, he just missed Chara. Just missed him! Right there! Chara's here! The guy's got a wingspan of 27 feet! How could you miss him? There's only one reason he missed him. He was scared. So we talk about, you know, things like that. Right? How to handle that, how to play with a bit more confidence. December, maybe we'll go back and do some goal setting if things aren't going so well. How to play with a bit more consistency. kind of focus, self-discipline, really, really important. The last time I was here was 5 years ago. When I come back again in 5 years' time, we're going to talk about self-discipline in practice, right? Unbelievably important. Like, in other words, teach your kids when you're not watching, they still got to have a high standard. So they're trying to, put the puck top right-hand corner, and they shoot it, and it's bottom left. I mean, it's fantastic bottom left. It's 400 miles an hour bottom left. I mean, she's really in it, right? And everybody's going, wow, what a wonderful shot. The problem was, we were aiming top right. So now it's game 7 of the playoffs, and she's right through on a prayer, right? She's got the puck, she gets over the blue line, she looks up, right? It's 1-1, game 7, 30 seconds to go. Their goalie is completely out of position. Top right-hand corner is wide open. She shoots and it goes where? Bottom left. Because in practice, she and whatever didn't have the discipline to stay on that. So we work by, that's what we mean there by discipline. I practice a bit better. Then in January, sometimes we do goal setting. Oh, that's all right. I don't know what we're doing in January. We're just doing the same thing all over again. That's the wrong slide there, but. February, dealing with failure, imagery, might work on that. Right, we got lots of different things we look on. Sometimes we change it up. Right, March, pre-game preparation. How to prepare for games properly. Big thing there, if I can share this with you, is players have routines that they follow, right? Every player from this kid height, they all have their little routine that they follow. They do their skate, they tape their sticks in a certain way, and blah blah, right? And coaches have a certain routine that we always follow and all that. That's awesome. Make sure it's not they're not doing it because of superstition. Get rid of the superstition nonsense, right? Like, get rid of that. I always put my left sock on first. Not a lot of nonsense. Can you imagine you're a coach? You've watched video for weeks and weeks. You're really prepared for the other team, right? But whether you win or not depends on well, he puts the sock on first, because if he puts the sock on the wrong way, you're screwed. Right? I mean, it's just, plus, you like putting your left sock on first. Oh, yes, really important. You're playing against, like you're coaching, say, 14 and 15-year-old boys. And you're playing against my daughter's grade 1 team. Right? You're playing. And you put your wrong sock on first. Oh, right? Are you worried? Not really, because you're pretty confident. But look what happens when confidence declines. That sock's becoming more important, isn't it? Because now you're not confident, right? So get rid of that nonsense. Have your players be confident, right? You don't need socks. What you need is confidence, right? So, we spend a fair little bit of time on that. The only thing I would say about pre-game prep that we really try to encourage our players to do is, it doesn't really matter about the routine or how you do things. For us, the key thing is the sincerity or the intensity that people get ready. That is the key thing. In other words, a player might do the same thing all the time, and they have a little routine that they follow, but you're trying to figure out how come they play really well in these games, right? Like, they're just all over the place, they get no consistency. And they'll say, well, I don't know, I prepare for games the same way. No, they don't. They actually do the same things, but in the playoff game, their mind's really focused on what they're doing. Whereas in the other, yeah, it's really nice here, isn't it? Yeah, you're ready to go. Yeah, I'm really ready to go, yeah, right? They're doing all the same things, but the intensity or sincerity is just raw, right? So we try to talk about a little bit about creating the right atmosphere. And the pros are actually much better at doing that than younger players, right? Like in major junior hockey, we spent a lot of time talking about that, right? So, let me go back. I want to just finish on one last little thing about how to think. 3 basic ways of thinking. You get the typical pessimist, you get the naive optimist, and you get the winning optimist. The typical pessimist is the person who goes, oh, we have no chance. Oh, we always suck against PEI. Oh, my goodness, the referendum. How come we always have a 2-1 lead and we always blow it, right? They're just pessimistic people. Stay away from those people. They're doom and gloom, right? They're not interested in making anything better. They're just interested in showing you that they're right. And pessimistic people want to be right or they want to win. That's all they do. Let me give you an example. Here's my coach. I'm the goalie. Okay? Coach, goalie. Playoff game, don't matter any game. Coach says to me, Scotty, I'm the goalie, remember? How do you think we're going to do tonight? Coach, we're going to get our asses kicked really bad. I'm the goalie. How hard do I have to try to be right? Not very. So we lose 37-0 and I turn around after the game and I say, I told you so. What happens if I'm wrong? In other words, every puck hits me in the head and doesn't go in. I'm wrong, but like the ring. Yeah. You see where the nice to be pessimistic, eh? You either win or you're right. Okay? But they're not interested in doing things better. So get rid of those pessimistic people, okay? Because one rotten apple on your team, right? Just remember, well, you know something, I'm struggling because I don't have the right centre. You know, just have the wrong line. The coach doesn't know what they're doing. He's my best buddy, so he goes, well, what are you going to say? I'm your best friend. Yeah, you're right, Scotty. Yeah, he sucks too, yeah. So now we got 2 guys. Right? And of course we got our 3rd line, yeah. Right? And before you know it, everything's right. So you gotta be careful with people who are just pessimistic. Stay away from that. Now, we get more dangerous than the pessimistic player and the pessimistic coach is the naive optimist. And these people are deadly, and there's a lot of them in hockey, and there's a lot of coaches who are naive optimists. These are the people who say things like, oh, I got a really good feeling we're going to win tonight. I'm so excited. I think we're going to kick some serious ass. Right? And everybody goes, wow, you want kids like that on your team, right? They're upbeat and they're positive. Right? They haven't actually done any work to improve their skills or anything, but they got a really good feeling. Right? Stay away from those people. They are deadly, right? Let me give you an example. I'm going to do open heart surgery on him, right? Me, on him, right? I've never done open heart surgery before. In fact, I've never done surgery before, but I got a really good feeling that things are going to go well, right? And coaches are the worst at this sort of nonsense, right? Like naive optimists, they're the people who say, coaches who say, this is why I can never be a hockey coach, because I don't have the time to go to hockey school, hockey coaching school, where you learn these little nuggets, little gems, like, keep doing what you're doing. Well, where do you get that nonsense from? You know, just keep going to the right areas, just keep working hard, eventually it'll work. Do you ever stop to think about how stupid that is? You go, no, it's not, Scotty, it's great. Well, of course it's great if you're a stupid coach. My grandmother is 97 years of age and she's got a walker, right? And she plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs. On the power play. She stands in front of the net. Now, what advice would you give her? Just keep doing what you're doing, Grandma. Eventually, what's going to happen? It's going to hit you in the ass and go in. And then you're going to turn around and say, see, I told you. And what if she doesn't score? Stay with it. Just hang in there. Like, where do you get these gems from? Like, can you imagine in real life when people actually believe that nonsense? Like, open heart surgery. The last 99 people I've operated on have all died. What advice would you give me? Come on, hockey hockey coaches, not real people in the real world. Hockey coaches, what advice?
Keep trying.
Keep trying, stick with it, Scotty. Eventually one of them will live. Where do you get these gems? Right? Do you know why the guy's not scoring? Because he's got to work on his shot. That's why it's not going in. He keeps hitting the popcorn seller in the 20. Just stick with it, Scotty. Like, why don't you work in the game? That's right. They're just so naive, and then you get this. Where do you get them from? You get the, well, you know, whatever happens out there happens. You know, just one of those things tonight, you know, we worked hard, but we just didn't get the lucky breaks. Whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm working with the West Indies cricket team. All right? I actually really like cricket. I grew up with cricket. So we're in Pakistan. I don't know if you've ever been to Pakistan. A month in Pakistan. This is like a year, a couple of years ago now, whatever. We're in Pakistan. We're playing a test match. I don't know if you know anything about cricket. 5 days this game lasts. 9 in the morning to 5 at night. 5 days of it. Right? And even then there's probably no result. So we're in Pakistan. And I'm working with this team from the Caribbean. Now, we're in Karachi playing. And we're in the dressing room. And it's, I'm not kidding, it's 44 degrees centigrade in the shade at 8:30 in the morning. Even the guys from the Caribbean are finding this a tad toasty, right? And we're in the dressing room, and there's no air conditioning, no windows, nothing. There's a little sign on the wall that says, last cleaned 1937. Right, anyways. And of course, you've got to be careful about what you drink there, right? So, now, up against the wall, right? Up against the wall, there's a fridge. And beside the fridge is a big pile of water, bottles of water, because you've got to drink bottled water there, right? Now you'll notice the slight problem. Fridge, water, water.